Hey everyone, and welcome to my Priority Discworld Books video. I love the Discworld. There is no mistaking that I love the Discworld. I talk about it a lot on this channel, I talk about it a lot on Bookstagram, generally online, things like this. I love the Discworld by Terry Pratchett. Terry Pratchett is one of my favourite authors, but the thing is that I don't really read that many Discworld novels. I try to read 1 or 2, maybe 3 a year, because I'm trying to stretch it out as much as possible, because obviously Terry Pratchett is no longer with us, which means Discworld will eventually run out, which sucks. But there are still a few that I am sort of more eyeing up than others. So today I thought I'd go through those and sort of tell you the ones that I'm eyeing up more than anything else in the Discworld right now. This is subject to change, this entirely depends on my mood, but this is currently what I really want to read out of Discworld. The first one is Lords and Ladies. This one is one of the Witches series. This one is specifically Granny Weatherwax, which is generally what each one's about anyway. With the Witches, Granny Weatherwax will be there. And this one, it says, the fairies are back, but this time they don't just want your teeth. And that's because in the Hogfather, which is the previous book, the Tooth Fairy is real and it's a big part of the plot. But it says, Granny Weatherwax and her tiny coven are up against real elves. It's midsummer night, no time for dreaming, with full supporting cast of dwarves, wizards, trolls, Morris dancers and one orangutan, and lots of hey nonny nonny and blood all over the place. I'm here for this. I'm absolutely here for this. Like always, I'm here for all Discworld, but I do want to read more from the Witches, and also I'm here for a slightly more bloody Discworld book. Not gonna lie. I mean, I'm always here for that, and I don't think I've ever met a Discworld elf. So that's going to get very interesting. My next one is Reaper Man, and yes, I know I have a lot of different covers for this series in a lot of different sizes. It annoys me more than it annoys anybody else, but that's just how collecting Terry Pratchett books works. Sometimes you get the mass market paperback, sometimes you get the normal paperback, sometimes you get the hardback. None of it matches. I'm dealing with it. Not very well. We also have a ton on audiobook, which are CD and cassette tapes. It's ridiculous. One day I will organise all of it and get it all sorted. But today is not that day, and this year ain't looking good for that either. But this one is all about Death, and Death has essentially taken a holiday, and there's now a tall dark stranger who turns out to be really good with a scythe working on a farm. And this is what happens when basically the souls he's meant to have reaped are still on Discworld, essentially, and I cannot wait to read that. I love this idea. I'm always here for a spooky read, especially within the Discworld, because Terry Pratchett does that kind of stuff so well. I'm always here for a death-related book as well, because I love the character of Death that Terry Pratchett's created. He's a brilliantly funny character, like all of his characters, but Death is specifically one of my favourites because he's so, like, far removed from humanity. But he loves humanity and he is fascinated by them, and he does try his best with them and everything else, and he does try to be like the best grandfather he can be to his granddaughter Susan, who appears mostly human, to be fair, but she's got the powers, but she appears mostly human. She tries to be human, but he does attempt to like be like grandfatherly to her, and because like he gives her a Hogswatch card, which is basically a Christmas card, and he says it was covered in snow but it melted kind of thing, and he's so sweet like this. He's a really, really sweet, lovely character, even though he can be quite scary at the same time. He sort of writes that sort of line of being really scary, but at the same time only when needs be. The rest of the time he's really cuddly in his weird way, which I love. Essentially I love him. He's my favourite Discworld character by far, so I'm just generally really excited to read more death-based books, and hopefully Susan will turn up in this one as well, because I mean, if Death takes a holiday, his granddaughter generally has to take over, unless his son-in-law is going to do it. But either way, this will be a good time, even if they don't turn up, even if it's just about Death. I don't care, because it's Death. I love him. We also have moving pictures, and this one, it says, the alchemists of the Discworld have discovered the magic of the silver screen. But what is the dark secret of Holywood Hill? It's up to Victor Tugglebend, not entirely sure how to pronounce that, and Theda Withel to find out. And I am just very excited to see what this one's about, because it says it's a gloriously funny saga set against the background of a world gone mad, which I think just explains everything, to be fair. I love this idea. Also, I think on the back, I don't know if you see that wizard baby Rincewind, who is always fun to see, because Rincewind is the worst wizard to ever try to be a wizard, essentially. He is very, very like useless as a wizard. You follow him for quite a few of these books. He turns up in a lot of others. He's generally in some sort of scrape, generally trying not to die, so death turns up on occasion to say hi to him at this point, and it just sounds like fun. I love movies so much, so I'm really excited as well to just see how Terry Pratchett takes on the movies and how he's going to satirise all of that as well. I then also have The Amazing Maurice and the Educated Rodents, and this one is about a cat essentially, and he is essentially a con man cat with rats. He's got a kid who can play the pipe, and they are essentially doing Pied Piper type of stuff, and it's how it's sort of created like a sort of get rich quick scheme kind of thing. But when they go to a certain town and all of a sudden there's another piper playing a darker tune, they all learn what evil actually means, and it may only just be the start. Now, I'm very excited for this one because while I'm not usually here for like books based around animals, this one has an adaptation coming, which I think is coming this year. It's either late this year, it's already late this year, around December, essentially, or it's early next year. It's coming soon. They were advertising it at Comic-Con from what I saw. I wasn't there, but like I think they were advertising it there. They did a whole panel, so it's got to be coming up soon. And I'm very excited for this one because this one just sounds really interesting. I always like it when Terry Pratchett takes like a classic tale and then spins it. That's always fun to me, so I'm very excited to see what he does with this one and to read it and then compare it to the film. And then the final one I'm going to mention is The Last Hero, and this one is essentially a sort of graphic novel type thing. It's the book but with giant pictures in it and then 2-page spreads as well, which just sounds like fun. I'm always here for like graphic retellings of things and stuff like this. There's like gods and all the rest of it. I mean, you've got this bit as well, and this one is following Conan the Barbarian, who used to be obviously like Conan the Barbarian, but now he can't remember where his teeth are essentially, and he's gotten a bit old and he's not very happy with this, so he's going to climb the tallest mountain in the Discworld and meet his gods. And it says the last hero in the world is going to return what the first hero stole, with a vengeance, and that will mean the end of the world if no one stops him in time. I'm here for this. I loved meeting Cohen in the Like Fantastic, so I'm excited to see where his story goes, and then also to just look through more of this stunning artwork by Paul Kidby, because he does some gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. So very, very excited to read this one, and because it's a graphic novel, I may be able to speed through it reasonably quickly as well, which will be great for the end of the year, but we'll see. And that is the end of my Discworld priority book. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me a book in the Discworld you really need to get to. I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a turtle emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, as well as to my Etsy and Redbubble store, which sells bookish merch if you're interested in that. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here. And over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!